सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ओम बोलो स्वामी सद्गुरु शिवानंद महाराज की जय। ओम बोलो स्वामी विष्णुदेवानंद महाराज की जय। हरि ओम तत्सत। ओम नमः शिवाय। I offer my pranams to the lotus feet of our masters. I pray Master give us all the understanding. It's Swami who speaks and it's Swami who listens through all of us. Hari Om Tat Sat. We are in chapter 4. We have seen slokam number 6. Ajopi sannavyayatma bhutanam ishwaropi san prakritim swamadishtaya sambhavami atma mayaya. Bhagavan says, Ajaha, I am unborn, and of all the living entities, I am unborn, and I have an imperishable nature, yet I appear with my divine power, yoga mayaya. So the whole world, the entire prapancham is body of Ishvara, Virat Purusha. It's a body of Ishvara. Ishvara here is the same consciousness. It's expressing through that totality. Jiva is that limiting agents, that consciousness that is expressing through the individual, through the mind, body and intellect. How we can understand this with an example? Ocean. Ocean is water, and there are waves in the ocean. These waves are made up of water. These waves, we call it as Jiva. And the ocean is Ishvara, and these waves, we can mean it as Jiva. So once within the ocean, there are many waves. One Ishvara and one God. There will be many Jivas. Daily, we can see God in every form. In the nature, God reveals in the nature. We can see mountain, we can see rivers, trees, sun, moon, everywhere we see God. The world is the body of God. So there is no one, Bhagavan says, there is no one who is forcing me to take birth. There is no pressure from anyone, but still controlling my prakriti, which is made up of these 5 elements, made up of 3 gunas. That is called prakriti. So I have the power to manifest in any form, in any avatar I want. God can manifest in any form. It can manifest as an object, as an emotion, as being. In any form He can manifest. And God exists. God manifests, and He does not have any past. What is the difference between us? We have our past karmas. On karma, on the samskaras, on the past impressions, we take birth. And God, if He takes birth, there is no past. God does not have any past. And it is, our birth is reincarnation, punarjanmam. But God, it is, He gets merged with that totality, and He gets an avatar for the required purpose, and He gets merged with that totality. Slokam number 7. It's a famous slokam. Many of us would have heard this. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. Yada yada, whenever glanir means decline. Whenever dharmasya glanir, when there is a decline in the dharma, in the path of righteousness, abhyuttanam adharmasya, whenever there is abhyuttanam, where is raise in adharma, there is raise in unrighteousness, tadatmanam srujamyaham. During that time, I manifest in a particular specific form, in a avatar. Whenever there is the righteousness or choked, and to protect that good, to destroy that evil, sambhavami, I project myself into this world. Glanir bhavati. Glanir means decline, the weak. Abhyutanam is increase. When there is decline, glanir in the dharma, when abhyutanam in the adharma, rise in the unrighteousness, tada, that time I manifest. Why I come? To protect this dharma. Dharma means dharayate iti dharma, that which upholds. Proper functioning of this world is called dharma. The body that performs in a proper way, which is dharma. If there is some disease in the body, then it is adharma. Then we can also say only for human beings, manushyanam, only for manushya, this dharma and adharma is there. As long as the other living beings, birds, animals, plants, the other creatures, there is no adharma. They don't have any rules and regulations. Why? Because human beings are given a choice of choosing. We have the ability to choose the right and wrong. Like how our father gives the pocket money to us when we were in our childhood. When father gives pocket money to us, we have a choice to use that money to buy good things or to misuse that pocket money and to do bad things. Right? Likewise, we are given the choice to execute good or bad. When the bad goes up in the increasing adharma, or when dharma declines, sambhavami, I manifest and I take an avatar to protect that dharma. Slokam number 8. Paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To protect that righteous and to re-establish the principles of dharma, to annihilate the wicked. So here God says 3 things. Paritranaya sadhunam, I manifest to protect the sadhunam, to protect the righteous, to protect the good. Vinasaya chadushkritam, to destroy the evildoers. Vinashaya means to destroy the evildoers, dushkritam. Dharma samsthapanarthaya, to re-establish that dharma. He mentions 3 things here. For these 3 things, sambhavami yuge yuge. Sambhavami means I manifest, I appear yuge yuge, age after age, yugam after yugam, to protect the good, to destroy the evil, to re-establish the dharma. Krishna Bhagavan manifests in this Dwapara Yugam to destroy that evil and to protect the good. And this Bhagavad Gita is Lord's own expression. Now there is one more version in the Vedanta, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. If you follow the dharmic path, if you follow the righteousness, the path of righteousness, that righteousness itself will protect you. Dharmo Rakshati. Rakshati means protect. Dharma protects that dharma way. Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. The one who protects, who follows the dharmic way, that dharmic itself protects the person who follows that dharma. The divine protection will always protect the one who follows the righteousness. Once this dharma is established, Bhagavan again becomes unmanifest. Once that avatar, he takes that avatar, he does that for that purpose, and then he becomes unmanifest. He concludes that avatar and he merges into that totality. Slokam number 9. Again a very nice, powerful sloka. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सोऽर्जुना. Bhagavan says, those who understand this divine birth, those who understand my nature of birth and my nature of activities, Arjuna, those who understand my nature of birth and my activities, once having understood, when they leave this body, they get merged with me. They are not getting punarjanma. They are not coming back to this earth again. One who recognizes my birth, one who recognizes my divine action, that person becomes free from all this punarjanmas. He is free from again birth and death. Though, what is that secret? Though I am unborn, I manifest, my janmam is divine, my action and my karma is establishing dharma. Evam yo veti tattvataha, one who understands this secret of my birth and my action, that person will get liberation. Tyaktva deham, deham means this body, tyaktva, after he leaves this body, punarjanma naiti mameti sarjuna. So Arjuna, he is not getting punarjanmam. Once he leaves this body, he will merge with me, he will come one with me, he will not come back to this earth again. Janma karma cha me divyam. Our janma is based on our karma. Our karma is associated with this identification with this body and mind. And what is the secret Bhagavan is telling? Though being unborn, Bhagavan appears in various forms as avatar to take birth, taking help. How do he take birth? Taking help of this Maya, Yoga Maya. He is taking this avatar. Bhagavan is revealing that in the Jiva also I only live. In the Jiva, you have a option. You are under the sway of this Maya. You are less powerful. As God, as the avatar, I am the Lord of Maya. I am the controller of that Maya. Though I get this birth with the help of this Maya, Yoga Maya, God is the controller of that Maya. In the next sloka, we'll get this little more detail. Slokam number 10. Vitaraga bhaya krodha Manmaya mamupashrutaha bahavo jnana tapasa puta madbhava magataha. Bahavo, many jivas like this. Jiva is the one who gets birth. Though I live in that entity, they have identified with this body and mind through this path that I have suggested. When they follow this path, those many jivas following that path, following my teachings, they have recognized their true self and they have reached me. Bahavo, many. Madbhava magata, my divine alone. Agataha means they have attained. Manmaya, they have attained, they have come oneness with me. Manmaya, with the oneness with the God. They have completely observed in me. Mam upashrutaha, they have taken refuge in me. Totally, they have depended on me and they have completely surrendered them to me. How? Vitaraga bhaya krodha, this raga, this attachment, bhaya, this fear, krodha, anger, vita, they have freed themselves from this raga, bhaya, krodha. Not being born, I appear to be born. God says, I am not being born, but I appear to be born. I am not performing action, I appear to perform action. I, my own self, is free from this birth and death. And how one understand this secret, one understands by jnana tapasa, by the tapas of knowledge. Only austerity, only knowledge can free that person from this by vitaraga bhaya krodha. Vita means only freeing from that bhaya krodha and raga. is through knowledge only. In the beginning, it will be a theory. How do we acquire knowledge? We go to the satsang, we listen to upanyasams, we listen to discourses, we read scriptures. By this, we acquire knowledge. In the beginning, it will be only theory. What is the path? Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. Shravanam means listening to those scriptures. The first step is in the path. The first step is Shravanam, listening to the scriptures. Listen from the teachers or listen from reading from the scriptures. Listen what they say about the nature of God, what they say about the God's own nature. Then the second step is Mananam. After hearing, you have to contemplate. We have to little more get deeper and deeper and Mananam, contemplate. Through this contemplation, intellectually, we have to appreciate who am I, what is my nature. Then only this meditation is possible. Only after acquiring little knowledge, only after acquiring, only after contemplating the knowledge that's been acquired, if you sit in meditation, the meditation will lead that person into samadhi state. Otherwise, that person will go sit. Constant fight in the inner self will keep happening. Why? Because the purity of mind has not happened. And jnana tapasa, that is the preparation. What is the preparation? The first preparation is the more and more we listen to satsang, the more and more we hear discourses, the more and more we read scriptures. Only that knowledge can take that person to liberate from this raga, bhaya, krodha. And after acquiring that knowledge, contemplate. And after that, sit for the meditation. Only then, only after acquiring that jnanam, puta. What is that sloka? Bahavo jnana tapasa puta. Puta means pure. Only then the totally purity will happen into your mind. Only after acquiring this knowledge, the mind will be away from this distraction. Only then this impurities of raga, dvesha and kama and krodha will get quietened, and we know, contemplate, intellectually apply in the senses level itself, and we stop them and we purify our mind. Puta means purify, totally pure. Purifying our mind, only after that this meditation will help. Otherwise, jabardasti, we will go and sit for the meditation and only sleep will come for many people. We go sit and will come back. Constantly we keep doing this. But only acquiring knowledge will purify your mind, and Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, that will help. Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha, become absolutely free from this Raga Bhaya Krodha, identifying with me, take refuge in me. How? Through tapas, through the knowledge, then become pure, reach me. Through this knowledge only, we can understand the divine birth of God and the divine action of God. Once you understand the divine birth of God and the divine action of God, directly or indirectly, those who understand this truth, who understand my divine birth and who understand my divine action, directly or indirectly, they come and reach me. And for those people, there is no rebirth. There is a moksha for them. There is no rebirth for them. Those who surrendered to God and those who follow this karma yoga path, those who acquire this knowledge, and those who sit on meditation, they get in. They free from themselves from these impurities, and they understand the truth, and they reach God. They get the moksha. Okay. Those who understand all these teachings and everything, they get this moksha, which means is God partial. He shows partiality. Those who surrender, who get this moksha, God is telling this God is answering to this in the next sloka. Slokam number 11. ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहं मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः. Those who approach me, in whatever way they approach me, I fulfill their desire. Bhagavan says, in whatever way you approach me, I fulfill your desire. Like a mirror. I also fulfill the desire. If you want knowledge, I give you that knowledge. If you want to know the secret of this world, I give you that. If you want material satisfaction, if you come and approach, I give you that. If you desire moksha, I give you moksha. If you approach me for wealth, I give you wealth. If you approach me for some fame, name, and all material beings, I give you. So God says, in whatever form you come and surrender to me, I reciprocate you at the appropriate time. So Swami Shivananda says, Master says, there are 4 types of bhaktas in this universe. First type of bhakta is a distressed devotee, which is called Artha. Artha, Artharthi, Jignasu, Jnani. There are 4 types of devotees. Artha means distressed devotee, people with difficulties, people with trouble, people who live with trouble and difficulty. They go to temple or they go to God, pray God, I have this difficulty, please help me to come out of this difficult situation. I have this sorrow, I have this trouble, I have this misery, I have this pain. So with distress, they go to God and they pray God to remove this. So God removes those pain, God removes those misery, those sorrows, and He gives you happiness and peace. This is the first type of devotee who are Artha, distressed devotee. The second type of devotee is Artharthi. The first one is going to God with trouble. The second one is people approach God to gain something. Seeker of wealth, Artharthi, who is seeker of wealth. God, give me this wealth, give me this fame, give me this name. And when you go and ask all this, God fulfills depending upon your karma. Certainly God fulfills this Artharthi, seeker of wealth, whatever he goes and asks. The third one is Jignasu, the seeker of knowledge. He goes to God and he says that I am ignorant and I want to understand myself. I want knowledge. I have intense thirst to understand the truth. So I surrender to you. Please reveal me this truth. Bhagavan gives the knowledge. Dadami buddhi yogantam. Bhagavan gives that buddhi. Dadami means giving. Bhagavan will give that. People who approach me in any form, I just give them. Jnani is the last one, who is satisfied with the self, who is contented with the self, who has no desires. He is free from all desires. He just wants moksha and he get into this moksha. Ye yathamam prapadyante tamstataiva bhajamyaham. Master says, if you take one step forward, Bhagavan will take 10 steps towards you. If you take one step towards God, Bhagavan will take 10 steps towards you. So if you approach him with emotions, if you approach him with seeking anything, God will fulfill. However you approach me, I will give you. Mama vartmanu vartante manushyaha partha sarvashaha. Hey Partha, all manushyaha, all these human beings, manushyaha means human beings, all these human beings, they are following my path. Mama vartmanu vartante, all these are my path only. They are following my path. Some of them come directly to me, some of them come indirectly according to their sadhana and upasana. Adi Shankara, his father, He recites one sloka when Adi Shankara was a child. Akashat patitam toyam yadha gacchati sagaram sarvadeva namaskaraha keshavam pratigacchati. Akashat, from the sky, patitam toyam, from the sky, the water, when it falls from the sky, ultimately it goes to the ocean. Why? Ocean is the source. Ocean is the source of water. So the water that comes from the Akasha, it reaches ultimately to the ocean. Some go through the river, some fall in the river, some go in the underground. But ultimately, directly or indirectly, all these go to the ocean. Similarly, they follow any path. They all my path, and finally they will approach me, they will merge with me. Then if it is that simple, then we all know now God is giving you the knowledge, only freeing yourself from the raga, dvesha and krodha, kama, you can achieve God. And how do you free? You get into knowledge. How do you acquire knowledge? You go to reading scriptures or listening to Shravanam, Mananam, you contemplate, Nididhyasanam, you get into meditation and get into this Samadhi state. Then if that is simple, why people are not choosing that path? If God is giving you clear path flow, then why is ordinary people who are not seeking that path and reach the moksha? Slokam number 12. Kankshantah karmanam siddhim yajanta iha devataha kshipram himanushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Bhagavan says, Arjuna, most of the people desire the result of the action. What is moksha? Moksha is the result of knowledge. But many of the ordinary human beings, they want result of the action. They desire for worldly, material, quantifiable, measurable things. And that is what is giving the ordinary people Kshipram, quick happiness. That gives the immediate, instantaneous happiness and peace it gives. So ordinary people only want that happiness and they don't want this moksha. We'll get into details about this sloka number 12 tomorrow. With this, we'll end today's session. Keeping our back straight. Eyes closed, we'll chant Om 3 times and end with the Dhyana Sloka. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace Peace Peace. Salutations to our masters. Om Bolo Swami Sadguru Shivananda Maharaj ki Jai. Om Bolo Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaj ki Jai. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thanks for joining. See you tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Stay safe.